Regular session, all those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. At this time, if you want to please stand for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of reflection. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you now can pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, can I get a motion to approve agenda?
I'd like to amend the agenda. I move that we amend our agenda to include the Washington Park Community Center under item 9, new business under G.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we amend our agenda to add the Washington Park site. All in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. At this time, can I get a motion to approve the, yes, sir.
Just have some further discussion. I move we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve agenda as amended. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
At this time, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the minutes, budgetary matters, and warrants?
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve consent agenda as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. At this time, road matters report from the guidance.
Good evening, Madam Chair, other distinguished members of the board. My name is Rossi Carroll. I'm the residency administrator for Franklin residency. I haven't been here long, been a couple of days. Just a little bit about myself. I've been with VDOT about 32 years. I have been the residency engineer for Williamsburg for the past 16. I do live on this side of the James River. An opportunity came that I decided Franklin was my home. So I start full-time at Franklin on the 10th of this month, and we'll be serving this county for VDOT.
Thank you. Welcome to our community.
Thank you very much. Just a few things about the quarterly report. Typically, I give a quarterly report up to the counties on what progress we've been making, some of the planning that we have for the future quarter. So I'd just like to go through some of that today. Just maintenance accomplishments from January 1st to March 31st. We've had 73 work orders submitted by public. Out of those 73, we've completed 57 of them, which is about an 80% completion rate. The big submissions were potholes for that time frame. And I would say the second one was debris removal, non-storm related. We also submitted 149 ourselves. That's things that we see when we're doing road inspections, ditch inspections, reviewing the roads in Greenville County. Out of those 145 of them have been completed for a 97 completion rate. So combined total for work orders, there was 222 that came in the quarter, and this is the first quarter. We completed 202. So a 91% completion rate for work orders coming in for the county. We did also respond to 4 snow events this quarter one. January 15th, January 24th and 25th, January 31st, and then February 22nd. So some of the maintenance work completed in Q1. We picked up debris and dead animals weekly on our primaries and called in secondaries. We placed 4 cross drains on Quarry Road, 4 cross drains on Rock Bridge Road. We pulled shoulders on Quarry Road and cleaned ditches at 1582 Quarry Road. We did ender patching, which is a chip seal type seal patch on River Road and the town of Jarrett, Wyeth Mill Road, Otter Dam Road, Orion Road, and Slaggles Lake Road. We did put shoulder stone for low shoulders on Orion Road, Moore's Ferry Road, Brink Road, and patched and repaired sinkhole around the culvert and VI drop inlet at 125 Shore Drive. We added stone to driveways on Skippers, Dry Bread, Robinson's Lane, Purdy, patch potholes with coal patch and tar and rock or chip seal on Grassy Pond Road, Dry Bread, Allen Road, Hells Island Road, Barley Road, Liberty Road, Chapels Ford Road, Greenleaf Inn Road, Little Low Ground Road, and Route 58 and 301, following the snowstorms. That was a lot. We also repaired shoulders and washouts on Grassy Pond, Backwoods Trail, and Dole's Lake Road. Replaced a driveway on Round Hill Hunt Club, which was on Rock Bridge Road, and cleaned up debris and trash on Meadow Bank Road, Sussex Drive, Hollyhock Trail, Barley Road, and Springs Church Road. We did some heavy patching on Ruby Trail, Coral Road, Westwood Road, Orion Road, Pine Log Road, and Hells Island Road. A lot of this was heavy machinery damage. It's a lot of heavy trucks hauling, you get some pumping, those kind of things. So we've done some heavy patching in those areas. We've cleaned ditches on Isle Mill Road, Otter Dam Road, Church, Skippers Road between Simmons Truck Stop and Liberty Road, and then Rockbridge Road, Quarry Road, and James River Junction. We have cut back vegetation on Purdy Road from the city limits to Scotland Drive. We worked to dress up non-horse service road there at Steel Bridge Road, Route 624. And primary shoulders were treated with PGR. I'll get into that a little bit. It's a plant growth regulator to keep the grass from growing as fast as it could. And been so dry, that has helped us as well. Plan for the next quarter. We're going to pull shoulders on Rockbridge Road, which he actually started this week. Started today. Hilltop Lane, Matthew Branch Road, Zion's Church Road, Smoky Ordinary Road, Tyall Mill Road, Grassy Pond Road, Brickyard Road, Green Plains Road, and Rawlings Acres Road. We're going to do heavy patching with plant mix on Little Low Ground Road, Grassy Pond Road, Hells Island Road, Coral Road, Diamond Grove Road, Quarry Road, Rockbridge Road, Smoky Ordinary Road, and Meadow Bank Road. We do have ditching planned for Low Ground Road, Wide Street, James River Junction, Beef Road, Purdy Road, Orion Road, Pine Log Road, Moore's Ferry Road, Country Club Road, Rutten Drive, and Phase Circle this coming quarter, so over the next 3 months. And then we are doing some vegetation cutback with our slope mowers. We haven't started that yet, but that is a 3-month plan. I will say that our first primary and secondary roadway mowing includes not only machine mowing, but hand mowing and litter and trash pickup. That is notice to proceed has been pushed out to the contractors. We are looking to start May 18th in the county for both the primary and secondary systems. Our HITS guardrail contract, they're the contractor that comes in and fixes the guardrail when it's hit. We currently are up to date on those. We do have a new contract that will go in effect, or will be ready to go in effect September 1 this year. So until then, we'll continue with the contract that we have. Paving, we did latex work on Route 58 from the Brunswick-Greensville County line to West End Drive, might as well say, in the vicinity, in both the east and westbound direction. And then we had plant mix, Purdy Road, Route 619, is that right? Yes. Okay. Purdy Road, between, Whitehorn Road and Doodle Road. The 2026 proposed mowing cycles, like I said, we did have our kickoff meeting on the April 27th with our contractors. We do have separate contractors for a lot of our primary and secondary system. We have 7 schedules, 5 of those are 5 different contractors. So working through those with the kickoff, just making sure what the expectations are for the contractors and work out any issues there. As we get started, all of the contractors that were there were not new. So everything from last year, same contractors, they were renewable contracts. But right now the schedule is to start our first mowing on May 18th in the county. Our second, well, that's primary and secondary, our second mowing cycle on July 30th. And then our third mowing cycle for primary and secondary on October the 7th. Those are the dates. Now, obviously, these are weather dependent. They may fluctuate just a little bit, but I think it's good to have a schedule going into the summer, so you can kind of know what to expect when this will start. Roadside, we did contract tree trimming on our secondary routes in the northeast quadrant of the county. I think it's PEX Contracting has been doing some secondary road cutting. Contractors have been spraying the primary and secondary routes with the PGR, which is the plant growth regulator. And also our contractor will start cutting and trimming our stormwater management basins on June 10th. That starts that project. Future bridge. Some of these aren't exactly in Greensville County, but they affect Greensville County, like the city of Emporia. Moore's Ferry Road Bridge over 95. That is to replace the bridge deck. That is anticipated award September of 2026. We have the Route 58 over 95. That's replaced structurally deficient bridge with added vertical clearance over 95. Modify Route 58 roadway and ramps to accommodate new bridges. Anticipated award is December of 2027. And we also have pedestrian crossing on Route 58 at Purdy Road. And that anticipated award will be October, November of this year. Our FY26 County Safety Funds program, there are $50,800 left in the county for FY26. We'll use this funding into reducing the high roadway shoulders to get road water off the road as part of our ditch pulling and shoulder pulling out project that I was naming earlier. There is currently no traffic studies in the queue for review for the county. And then for land use, we have reviewed 5 plans over the first quarter. We've issued 26 permits, land use permits for either utilities or private individuals. And we have not had any additions or abandonments in the county in the quarter. So that, I wanted to bring these up. So April 21st to the 25th, that was National Work Zone Awareness Week. And there was respect the zone, so we all get home. You know, I can't stress the safety out there on the road, distracted driving, through work zones, those type of things. So I must say, you know, please watch out for the signs, and the cones, and the workers out there in the roadway trying to make things safe for travelers. And this week is Public Service Week, so congratulations. And I know you're all a public service yourselves, so congrats. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that you did a very good job on Rock Creek Road. The ditches, one of my constituents, been waiting over 50 years. And I received so.
Well, I will say that it's way too long to wait, but thank you. Which road was that again?
Rock Creek Road.
Rock Creek.
Rock Ridge Road.
Rock Ridge, okay.
And for one more thing, with Morris Ferry Road, is that, when y'all start on that, is that gonna be shut down totally?
So no, we can pull the shoulders. It may be tight in spots, but we'll have flaggers. But yeah, we should be able to pull it and still have one way.
Okay.
These are my concerns, and I probably brought this up. I can't count the number of times over the last 2-3 years. Blanks Lane, came out in October 2023. We had the ditches down there that needed to be
What was the name?
Blanks Lane.
Blanks, BLANKS?
Yeah, Blanks Lane, okay? And also we had, they put in a road study because they like to race the cars in the road. So we put like the road bumps on that, so that way they can't just flatten down the road, and that's been about 4 years ago. On Sunnyside, I reported.
Can I ask a question? So on the Blanks Lane, you're talking about the racing out there, what did the study, y'all completed a study, I assume?
I put one in, that was about 2-3 years, I didn't hear anything back, I keep mentioning it, but I didn't hear anything back.
Okay, I didn't see any in the queue, that's why I pulled the
I
study.
can only get it.
So if you could kind of explain what's going on, I can relook at that and make sure if something is either completed, that I respond on it, or either if I can, tell me what's going on.
Well, the concern, the citizen's concern was they like to race up and down the road.
Okay,
So they wanted to put a study in because if you put those little bumps there, it would be kind of hard for them. It's about a half mile.
okay.
And then you run out, it's a half mile, so it's a good little racetrack for them today. So that was concern from the citizens I had. And then the ditch, I guess you almost decided when you first turn on Blanks Lane. Because on the lower part, we did get those clean, but on the upper part, we never got those clean.
So upper part,
They used some bad spots on the road. On Sunnyside, I did this, I guess about 2 years ago too. If you go down now, probably if you get out of Emporia, you maybe get a little a mile. There's a big hole in the middle of the road, and you go down about another half a mile. You can't help them saying there's 2 big holes that sit right in the middle of the road on Sunnyside Road.
Sunnyside potholes.
Right.
Okay.
It's right in the middle of the road that I've had some complaints about. Right there. On Slaker Lake Road.
What was that again?
Slaker's Lake Road. This took place back in 2024. We had trees all over the road and branches. I was told by DDOT that some of the branches was on DDOT and some of them was on the landowners. So I asked, I need to know what responsibility of DDOT and what responsibility for the landowners. I can't tell the landowner what to do until I find out what portion that DDOT's supposed to be doing. And then we have limbs, it's been since 2024, been trying to come out.
Are these limbs on trees or trees falling?
Okay, the trees, the big huge trees right there, right on the side of the road right there. If you go up there, you could have, right before you get to the wide middle school.
Okay.
And if you can't help them see all those limbs, they cover the whole road, they cover one side and go over the other side of the road. And we were blessed on that particular day that the bus had not left the school when those trees fell. And there are like trees just like that. So we were very blessed that day that the trees fell. And I had also put in for that, and nobody did anything about it. So thank God that day that when the trees did fall down, that there was nobody there.
Okay.
And I think right now that was my concern as of right now.
Okay, Blanks Lane, Sunnyside, and
Slaker Lake.
Slater's Lake. Okay, got it.
Right before you get to the middle school.
All right.
I've got one concern on Allen Road, right at the town of Jarrett, limits in the chip mill. They replaced the pipe under the road years ago.
Okay,
It's sunken in, whether that's a bad dip. We need
we'll patch it.
to patch it or put some bump sign, something that somebody's gonna have to have it.
That's on Allen Road, close to the mill.
Right at the chip mill, right at the town of Jarrett line.
I'm sure it's just settlement.
It's a,
I only have one, and that's the bridge on Moonlight Road. It has some deep craters in it. If you go down there, if you go on probably about 30 miles an hour, you're just gonna feel like your whole tire about to fall off. They're so big.
Okay.
Moonlight
This is
Road.
on the deck,
It's on the bridge, yeah.
on the bridge deck itself. Okay.
Yeah, I have one, Beef Road. I heard you call Beef Road. I don't know if that's on the list.
It is.
Okay.
I needed a couple things. We got some drainage and patching.
2 addresses. The ditch need cleaning. I don't have the number right now. I can put 2 addresses.
So either way, if, Beef Road, ditching work orders, drainage complaints, I'm sure they already have it. Yeah.
We're glad you're here. We're hoping you know around here.
Oh, you're not at all, not at all. I appreciate y'all having me here, and like I said, I'm here to work with you all and try to make transportation within the county the best.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Carroll, if you've not met, Mr. Lynn Pope.
I have, I met him right before, and it was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. He is generally the main point of contact for the county that we're reaching out to, with the board members having concern outside of the meetings. If they don't submit them through the portal, then he will generally be your main point of contact.
Sounds great. I look forward to working with you.
Yes, sir. Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good night. Thank you.
Also, while we're still on the VDOT, section, I received a letter from them about their community, comment, their citizens comment for projects. So the Commonwealth Transportation Board, CTB, will conduct a public meeting in our area to give citizens the opportunity to provide comments on projects and programs to be included in the fiscal year 2027 through 2032 6-year improvement program, including highway, rail, public transportation initiatives. These projects and programs represent important improvements to address safety, congestion, and preservation of Virginia's transportation network. And the next meeting that they will be taking citizens' comments will be on, not the next one, but the closest one to us will be Monday, May the 11th in the Richmond District, at the Richmond District Hawthorne Auditorium on 2430 Pine Forest Drive, Colonial Heights, Virginia. Okay. Next, I have citizens' comments. There being no old business, new business. Greensville County fiscal year 2027 through 2032, secondary 6-year and priority list, SSYP.
Good evening. The first sheet in your attachment will show us this year's, well, not this year, but the next 6 years worth of estimated allocations. So in telefees, we'll receive $25,573 a year over the 6-year period. That comes up to $153,438. And under the unpaid road funds will receive $989 a year for a total of $19,280, which it increases if you look at FY 30, 31, and 32. All right, second sheet, you can see the list of projects on the 6-year plan. 2 of the projects listed have been shown as closed out. Independence Church Road was closed out in 2021. Otter Dam was closed out in 2019, and Liberty Road finally made the list. So Liberty Road is the is the only road on the list that will be receiving allocations over the next 6 years. And as always, we've attached a priority list, 2027 through 2032 priority list. And again, Liberty Road is the top priority on our priority list. So included in your application is a resolution approving the FY 27 to 2032 secondary 6-year plan. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Ross is here, he can answer them if I can. So.
You just have to see the bit of road, make it to the top.
What we got in place?
Yep.
Y'all got that?
I got 1.2 million for the project, so we'll keep trying.
Can I get a motion on resolution 26-56?
So, second.
It's been moved to second that we approve resolution 26-56. All those in favor, roll call.
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, personnel policy update.
Yes, Chair A. In your agenda packet is section G is the Greensville County Personnel Policies. Update is Article 9 grievance procedures. I will turn it over to Dr. Wood.
Good evening, all board members.
Good evening.
In review of our personnel policy, grievance policy, to be compliant with Virginia Code 15.2, 1506, and 1507, it was recommended by our employment attorney to update our grievance policy to be compliant with the Virginia State Code. More of it is inclusion of a separate hearing officer who would be appointed from the executive secretary of the Supreme Court, which is to the county's advantages to make sure that we aren't improperly imbalanced as it relates to any type of grievance procedures. There were red line recommended changes that you all had in your agenda packet in reference to this, and it was reviewed by the attorney. All of the procedures that we need to do to adopt this. Staff recommends that we adopt the changes to the grievance policy as presented.
I'd like to make a motion to defer this. I need more time to study the understanding completely.
My second.
It's been moved. Well, let me ask one question before we go through with the motion. Is there a timeline as to when we need to get this done from the state?
Not necessarily a timeline, but we need to get it done in order to be compliant. And she said that any of you guys can set a meeting that you can speak directly with her, the employment attorney, and go over all of the pieces that she's redlined that need to be changed. Because in our previous copy, you guys had made some changes that do not correspond with the state code, so that's why that's.
You may want to do that, just so I get a better understanding.
Okay.
You said there's no timeline, but it is a timeline.
It really is.
Right, we have to
It
do
really
it.
is. I would say we need to do it in the next 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, get out of the way.
We defer it on next meeting.
If that's the pleasure of the board, we can set up, if you all would like to meet with or have a discussion with the attorney, Dr. Wood can set it up so you all can have some discussions with her.
Well, let me ask you before we do that. You saying that when we make these changes, we need them to be in compliance?
Yes, these are the changes that they're recommending so that we can be in compliance with the state code.
So who is they to make the recommendation?
The employment attorney.
Okay,
Same
so
as-
so this is what we have to be in compliance.
Yes, Sands Anderson, if you all remember, are the ones who did the percent policy maker for us.
Okay, so I believe we did have a motion on the floor. It was moved and second that we defer. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
No.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair Ashcroft.
Aye. Moving on, resolution 26-57, resolution of the Greensville County Board of Supervisors approving of the county's participation in the proposed combined settlement agreement resolving opioid-related claims against Associated Pharmacies Incorporated.
Madam Chair and board members, as the county knows, we've been involved in opioid transport litigation for quite some time. The settlements have been coming in. We're getting near the end of the road. This is another settlement that is recommended to you by the attorneys whom you retain to represent you on this class action suit. I have made an inquiry. The amount the county will receive out of this is also nominal, $3,200. We checked with the treasurer, and I think you say here $165 total that you receive. So the recommendation is that you approve this settlement. That is the recommendation for the attorney.
I move we approve resolution 26-57 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve resolution 26-57, excuse me, as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair Ashcroft.
Aye. Moving on, resolution 26-58, Greensville County Public Schools fiscal year 27 funding.
Yes, Chair Ashcroft. In your agenda packet is attachment I is resolution 26-58 for the Greensville County Public Schools FY27 funding. This was done so they could go ahead and start the process of awarding contracts for teachers to be able to return, so they would receive those prior to the end of the school year. Just a couple of things to point out that you all went through with the budget sessions recently and the schedule currently for a budget adoption. The GCPS's total funding request was $11,791,368. Of that, they had Greensville County for $6.8 million and the city of Emporia for $4.9 million. Which you all approved in the budget that was presented to you all requested to do based on ADM. That does change the funding based on the average daily membership. Greensville County has reported for the school system, they will have 1,844 students projected for the upcoming school year. Of those students, 895 are county students and 949 are city of Emporia students. When you look at
And 947 for the county, 895 for the city, right?
It should be $895 for the county, excuse me, and $949 for the city.
My number was opposite.
Okay. Yes, sir. And I just had what they had in the presentation, but it was 1844. And I'll go back and double check just to make sure. Because I may have transposed that number.
Well, I'm almost sure 947 for the county and 895 for the city.
Yes, sir. I'll go back and double check just to make sure. But looking at the ADM itself, if you look at the total number of students, it was $6,394 per student. So that brings the county's share, if you look at ADM only, to $6,068,334, which is what you all adopted or what you all proposed to move forward with in the FY27 budget. That would give the school system a shortfall that they would have to look at as far as making up the additional funding. The city's request was originally by the school system was $4,951,705. And based on the information that we have received from the school system, based on what they plan to provide funding for, is the $4,651,000 is what has been listed for them, is what they have in their budget session. And Mr. Kane, I'm gonna double check those numbers. If you all can give me just a moment to make sure I did not transpose those. And yes, you're correct. I'm sorry. The Greensville County was a 949 and the city was the 895. So thank you, Mr. King. I wrote them down backwards on my paper. So for the average daily membership cost per student was the $6,394.45. So staff, if you all choose to do so, ask for approval of resolution 26-58 as presented with the county's total funding listed for $6,068,334, again, based on average daily membership.
I move we approve resolution 26-58 as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 26-58 as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote.
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
I will abstain as it is 940. Moving on to resolution 26-59, position of Greensville County Administrator.
Here you go. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, I consider our last meeting, you folks gave me bullet points of things you wanted in your resolution. I sent the bullet points to each of you. After I didn't get a feedback, I prepared a resolution, sent that to each of you. I discussed it with Ms. Astrop to make sure I was on sound ground. Thank you, Gary. I'm not with you. So what is before you is what I intended to be exactly what you told me to put before you. I've heard it the contrary. The question now is if you adopt this resolution, I think you will implement what you told me you wanted to implement. And if you want me to run over that, I will. It's up to you.
I make a motion we approve resolution 26-59 as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 26-59 as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote.
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. All right, the added items, Washington Park.
And I asked her to be added, so I'll just talk and it's been a lot of ongoing discussions for the future management and operation of Washington Park Community Center. And our goal as a board is for this to provide the most benefits to our citizens in our community. I put a lot of thought into how to accomplish this. My thoughts for the county to manage this process is as those with the Golden Leaf Counties, which have been very successful in serving citizens. So I would like to make a motion that we end the RFP process, refuse or reject all proposals, have the county put a plan in place to manage and operate the Washington Park Community Center as it does Golden Leaf, and also want to express our appreciation to those who served on the evaluation committee, and those who submitted proposals.
I second.
Make sure I get it right. It has been moved and second.
First of all, if we don't, I think the start process with this, if the county takes it over, would that require an employee to get to watch the proposition?
If you all choose to take it over, then we would have to look at having someone to look at managing the facility.
And then do we have any idea what that cost will be?
We would have to look at the position and the title, and well as look at salary range, things of that nature.
Okay, and then we talk about the facility itself. If we look at the Golden Common, basically we rent out to people in the community who just want to come in, have a wedding, birthday party. And as a more of a community center, you think about serving the youth, serving the kids, and providing activities, sports programs and all of that. So I think if the county is running, I think basically what we would be doing is just renting the building out if somebody wants to have a function there. Not doing anything beyond a function like we would go common. So I would definitely hope that we would want to keep it, regardless of who gets it, keep it as a community center where we would have youth programs, after school programs where kids can come in and work on the computer, do homework and all those kind of things. I don't think if the county is running it, I don't think we can provide those types of services.
I think that is our goal as a county. If we were to take it over, we want to continue to run youth programs out of that building.
But then it's gonna cost, who gonna be there to run?
And that's what I said in my motion, is for the county to put a plan in place, how we could run it and manage.
But if the county, then you got another fee. Usually on the community service center, the people who operate it, they are volunteers. If we are operating as a county, so each service that we provide, we have to pay somebody to do it. And I think before we do anything here tonight, I think what we need to do is we can sit back and pick out the cost and what is going to be the cost to the county. So right now, it's not costing the county anything to operate the center. But if we do what we're doing right now, we have a cost involved. So I think we need to back a second and look and see what is the cost involved in doing all of this. And then the county needs to come up with a program. Are we gonna have AAU programs? We're gonna have after school programs? Are we gonna still, be able to, the kids coming in the afternoon and work on computers and all those kind of things? So I think we need to before we even make a decision, the county need to put a plan together and look at it and see what type of service we be providing at the county. For youth, when you think about a community center, you think about serving the youth. I know they do all kinds of things, like we have elderly folks that come in, and all that kind of things. I think before we make a decision like this, I think cost should be one of our major concerns and what it's gonna cost us. And then we can provide the same type of plans and programs we have the center. Like, I'm gonna repeat this again. Are we gonna do after school program? What involvement are we gonna have before the school is concerned? I dealt with the CIS, who they definitely came in, because I got the documentation, they definitely came in. They have actually worked with the school system, and I worked with the school system, help reduce chronic absentees, which have to lead them to getting accreditation. So what are we gonna do in line with that? What are we gonna be doing? So I think we need to come with, if we're gonna do it, then are we gonna be able to provide those same types of services?
Mr. Conlon.
I'll repeat myself because in my motion, part of it was to put a plan in place, how we could manage and operate this.
And are you,
Then,
if I may, just ask a question. Mr. Conway, are you referencing as far as rent, like fees, are you referencing and following the same, you mentioned the Golden Leaf. Are you talking about, for example, if it's available or open on the weekend, are you talking about where somebody in the community would be able to come in and rent it and we establish a fee schedule in that manner?
Yes.
And then, that was my question. I think that's what you were asking, Mr. King, as far as are we going to charge folks to be able to hold programs there?
And as far as some of the after school and educational programs, I think you're gonna still have a lot of volunteers to work to.
We got plenty of volunteers.
Well, the thing is, we don't know that, because everybody presented a proposal to us, they have that in place. We have not presented a proposal, have anything in place. So I think we don't have through our committee meetings, I think we need to have our program to come through like everybody else's program and make a decision based on that. Yeah, because it's gonna cost the county. because we don't have a volunteer staff every day, all day to go over there and do anything. We don't have an after-school program where people can volunteer and do that time. That's not gonna happen.
It never was open all day and everything.
Okay, we do have a motion on the floor. After some conversation, the motion on the floor was that we reject all proposals and come and have the county look at the possibility of running the building and coming up with a plan moving forward.
Correct.
And it was moved and it was second, so all those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
No.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. There being no other business, I need a motion that we adjourn to Thursday, May the 21st at 6 p.m. at the Greensville County Government Building Boardroom for our public budget hearing.
So, second.
It's been moved and second that we adjourn to May 21st for our public budget hearing to be held in this room. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Okay, next, can I get a motion that we go into regular session with water and sewer?
So,
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, roll call?
Supervisor A. Strong.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Aye. Next, can I get approval of the agenda?
so
Second. Been moved and second. Roll call?
Supervisor A. Strong.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Aye. Next, can I get approval of the consent agenda, just of the minutes and the warrants?
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
second.
Been moved and second. All in favor?
Supervisor A. Strong.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Aye. Next, we have resolution WS-26-11.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Keith Sanders. I'm the Assistant Director of the Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority. Resolution 26-11 concerns the Carver Avenue Sewer Pump Station. In December of 2025, the sewer pump station in Carver Avenue in Jarrett, Virginia, experienced a total system failure, became non-operational. As a stopgap measure at that time, we rented a pump and a float system to operate it manually. We did that at a cost of $2,668 a month. Now, this was done because we only have one other pump with the capacity to operate that station. And if we use the only pump we had, then we have nothing for emergencies when they come up at different locations. In January 2026, we contracted Timmons Engineering Service to go down and do an evaluation of the Carver Avenue pump station. After doing the evaluation, they determined that the pump station had reached the end of its useful life cycle, and that it was non-repairable, and that it would need a total rehabilitation. Timmons then submitted a proposal for the engineering portion of that, and that engineering portion was a total of $81,500. What we're asking in the resolution is that the survey services and the site plan, as well as the cost of actually purchasing a pump, because what we found is instead of continuing to rent a pump at $2,600 a month, by purchasing a pump, we actually would end up saving money. We're asking for those to be taken out of fund balance. We're then asking for the remaining items of the engineering services to be coming into our budget as part of the CIP for fiscal year 2027. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
How much did the pump cost? You said, the rent $2,600 a month.
Right. The pump would cost $2,600 a month. And what we're looking at, if we actually go in and purchase a pump, it would be an estimated $35,000. Now, we're looking at 18 months completion for this process for the engineering. So you'd be looking at $2,600 over the next 18 months in addition to what we've done since December.
And that's the people in the pump, we still have a pump, right?
Right. We would still at that point own it. We'd actually become an asset of the county. And we're looking at that actually being a cash savings of roughly $47,035 by purchasing the pump versus renting it for $2,600 over the next 18 months.
And staff recommends that you all approve resolution WS 2611 Carver Avenue Sewage Pump Station Rehabilitation. As Mr. Sanders has said, it's imperative that we get these repairs rolling. So we ask that you go ahead and approve this. We'll do what we can out of the current fiscal year and then request to budget the remaining amount in the upcoming FY27 fiscal year for water and sewer.
I move we approve resolution WS 26-11.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? Roll call.
Supervisor Ashcroft.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Next, we have resolution WS-26-12.
Resolution 26-12 is a memorandum of agreement. We're asking the board to authorize the assistant director to sign a memorandum of agreement. If you remember, between the Little Shiloh Baptist Church and the authority. As you may recall, over the last couple of months, we were in negotiations with Little Shiloh to resolve an issue they had with their water line. We did come to an agreement. With that agreement, we would essentially be paying half of the total payment, half the total project costs. The total project costs were a little over $6,000. We would be sharing 50% of the cost with Little Shiloh in order to resolve their waterline issues. And the memorandum essentially memorializes the terms of this agreement so that everybody understands what responsibilities they have. More or less, it just puts it out in writing so there's no confusion.
I move we approve resolution WS 26-3.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? Roll call.
Supervisor Ashcroft.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Next, we have resolution WS-26-13.
Since the time that I've been as assistant director, we've always looked at ways that we can not only save money, but prevent the authority from losing money. One source that we've identified has been a loss of revenue due to making sewer bill leak adjustments. Now, what that is when someone, a customer, either residential or commercial, has a water leak, the authority will move to adjust after they've had it repaired, will move to adjust the amount of their sewer bill. So in order to provide them some relief, if you look over to the screen, we go through the process. Basically, when the customer has a water leak, after repairs, we make a sewer bill leak adjustment to reduce the bill. Now, the idea behind this, again, is to provide some relief for the customer. What I want you to look at, pay attention now, is that this is a actual bill of the customer. Now, we removed the information for their account. But what we see is this particular customer in the month of November, the November billing cycle, was paying the minimum bill of $76.30. For the December billing cycle, the bill rose to $1,025.14. Now, what this is over a 1,300% increase, and this is due to a leak. Now, what this process involves is that the customer essentially has the leak repaired. At that point, they would submit a leak adjustment form to the authority, and we would then, the staff would calculate the adjustment or the amount of the sewer bill that would be adjusted. Now, how is that calculated? Okay, first thing we would do is we would figure the average 6 months usage. From that point, we would subtract 4,000 gallons minimum from the average 6 month usage and multiply that by 8.64. We would then, this is the sewer adjustment, and for the additional 1,000 gallons metered over 4,000 gallons to each. After a minimum sewer bill, we add that to the minimum sewer bill, and we would then subtract that result from the inflated sewer bill. Now, is everybody confused? I was when I went through the process. This process, what we found, is time consuming. It takes about 4 man hours to do the research each time. It's complicated. It's wrought. It can be errors can be made in calculations. Often it provides a little relief, and we find that customers are still dissatisfied after we go through the process. Now, if you recall this particular account, we see this young lady had a bill rise from a minimum of $76 all the way to $1,000. Now, if we look at this, this is what we would do for her adjustment. We see a first her inflated bill of $1,000, and then we see her adjusted bill. The water bill would not be adjusted, but just the sewer portion. And roughly, we've adjusted about $124. Now, if you could imagine this young lady, or this a customer, don't want to give it away. This customer has gone from paying a minimum bill of $76 to paying now $900. She's not happy. So how does this affect the authority? Maybe $124, you with $140 is not that much. But when we look at the period between 2020 and 2026, we see sewer adjustments being responsible for revenue losses as little as $7,000 and as much as $77,000. From the period of 2020 to 2026, the total revenue loss for the for the authority is about $173,000. This had to be a problem that had to be adjusted. This is new assets. This is new equipment. These are things. And on top of it, we're looking at dissatisfaction of customers because we're really not providing the relief that they're looking for. Solution: leak protection, leak insurance. Now, in the audience today, we have Emily, I'm gonna try this name, Zalfini,
You got it.
who is from the Home Serve Corporation, and they run the program called Serve Line. And they actually provide leak protection insurance. Now, we're all familiar with insurance. It's a thing that we all have and we all hate, but until you need it. Now, the way the program would operate, the customer has a high water sewer bill due to a water leak with Serve Line. The customer has a leak repaired as they normally would. The customer then calls Serve Line, not the authority, to make a claim, not tying up the office manager, staff time. Serve Line then finds the claim valid, issues a check to the authority for the high water and sewer bill. Say she had a water and sewer, they issued a check for the authority, minus the average 12-month sewer bill and water bill that the customer would normally pay. The customer is only responsible for paying the average 12-month bill, which is what they normally would have paid anyway. As you can imagine, from that point, this process is much simpler and the customer is much happier because now they're not stuck with a $900 bill. Now, what we would see under this, the authority's leak adjustment policy would change to a leak protection policy. The upfront cost for the authority, here it is, nothing. We would no longer make sewer adjustments. We would change our policy so that when we have this program, we've now relieved ourselves of the administrative burden of researching and implementing the policy. Our revenue loss goes from 173,000 to 0. The charts we have on the screen now, they show the protections and the costs. Now, these would be customer costs that would be offered by the Serve Line program. What we've done is the authority has taken time to look at the vast majority of leaks, residential leaks and commercial leaks. And what we found is that generally the amount of the overage is going to be between $800 and $1,500. So therefore, what we found is it's most effective for us to offer $1,000 leak protection and $1,000 water protection. Now, as you look at the chart, you see that that would be about $2 for leak protection for water, $2 for sewer. Now, this is not isolated to residential. Of course, we also have commercial customers who had large leaks. I believe.
Two service stations.
Right. Board Member Kane, we helped this particular gentleman for quite some time. And I believe this cost him well over $10,000. but we were only able to deal with the sewer portion. And unfortunately, he wasn't satisfied. And I really can't say that I blame him, but there was nothing we could do because the authority, after all, has to be responsible to the citizen. And often these costs end up getting passed to the citizens.
So this rate, is that a monthly rate? of
Yes.
insurance?
It would be $4 a month. If the board, so chooses that, to approve that amount. Now, how much protection do they involve to a certain amount of offer? Again, the authority would choose protection limits. We recommend $1,000 water leak protection, $1,000 sewer leak protection. The customer's monthly cost, roughly $2 for the water bill leak protection and $4 for the sewer bill protection. And participation is totally voluntary. The customer would have the option to opt out. Initially, we would enroll active customers and new customers in the program, and they would have the opportunity to opt out within a 12-month period. If they haven't made any claims in a 12-month period, any premiums that they paid would be fully refunded. The customer can decline or opt out. Now, more importantly than perhaps the money that we would not be losing or saving is that customer satisfaction rises. They feel that we now have their best interests at heart. So what we're asking to do, what the authority is asking the board to approve, is simply to allow us or to authorize us to amend our leak adjustment policy to a leak protection policy. We're asking to the board to allow us to present a draft of this new policy to the board and review and approve, hopefully, as part of our budget process for fiscal year 2027. Now, what that involves, since this would affect rates, we're asking the board that we would go through the entire process of having, of course, public notification, and that we have a time to do a complete study to see how this would affect our rates. And at that time, the board would have a chance to make a decision if we bring it in as part of our budget process.
That was my next question. I think this is a good project, which you presented, but I think it needs to be part of the budget process, especially if you're going to increase customers' fees.
And that
Not
was
have
our
public notification on that and public hearing on it.
right, and because it does affect fees, we want to give everybody a chance to have feedback in the process, and more importantly, to feel that they have a voice in this. We understand that nobody wants to raise rates, but unfortunately, this is the time that we're living in, and in addition to the other costs that we may have to consider, we also want to make a way that we do not unduly burden people.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, I guess, it may not be a question, but he said $1,000. I think some cases I worked on, one of the bill was $100 1 month, and you got to be $200, but $20. So I'm going to assume when we go out and check her and we find out that this probably will pay like up to $1,000 for her repairing her leak.
No, it's not repair. We don't pay $1,000 to repair a leak. Under this program, the customer will still be responsible for repairing the leak. What this does is relieve them from the burden of paying the inflated water bill that came from that leak. Now, they can, the claims that they make, there's a certain amount of claims they would make, and the claims could cover 2 consecutive billing cycles. Now, we would work in conjunction with Servline, because of course we are the front line. We could pretty much tell perhaps before people know that they have a leak because of their usage. We would work in conjunction with this company to make sure that we don't let things get out of hand. The idea, of course, again, is to protect people from having to pay these absorbent bills after the leak has occurred. And we understand that now we've had situations where we had leaks where the bill is on the commercial side, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000. However, unfortunately, in order to make it affordable, we can't cover the extreme cases. We have to look at the average number so that it provides the most protection and most affordable protection to a large number of people. Again, I mentioned that Mr. Zalfini is here if the board has any questions, if I've left anything out,
I just got another question.
Sure.
So if we approve this resolution, all it's doing is giving you the authority to bring it back to us at budget time.
right, what it would allow us to do officially is to write a draft of the new policy, to bring it back to you as part of our budget process, to have you look at it, approve it. Then we would go through the process of public notification and hearing, and finally the adoption. If that be the will of the board.
I just have one question as well. What if a resident already has a home serve plan that covers their lines? Would this be an additional plan, or would they have the option to get rid of their current plan to go with this plan?
Okay, initially what we would do. Oh, please, come on, please, come on.
So the home serve plans that you're probably thinking about are for the repair,
Mhm.
not for the water bill coverage itself. So those plans wouldn't cover the leak. This is just for the water bill.
What she said.
So I think I got it now.
Oh,
I think you saw it.
Okay, I got it.
I move that we approve resolution WS 26-13.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, roll call.
Supervisor Ashcraft.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conway. Chair Brown.
Aye.
Before we adjourn, I just want to say something, Keith, just while you're here. A few weeks ago, when the line bursted in Skipper, and the one unfortunately broke in Jarrett too, I had opportunity with Mr. Cyphers and I went out and we stayed with those guys and they cruised till 1 a.m. that night. They finished that project. They left and went to Skipper's and finished that one the next morning at 5 a.m. I'm gonna tell you, I was proud of not the professionalism they had, the concern for the citizens to get the water back on, and the teamwork those guys showed. It is extraordinary. You should be very proud of that.
I am, and Ms. Conway, I don't know if you're aware of how well the authority works. I was aware of that particularly. Unfortunately, I was scheduled to go out of town with my wife, and
Well, I knew Mr. Sabo when you talked on the phone. I knew you were talking on the phone. So.
there was no telling her no at that point.
I was just saying I was proud of the way those guys jumped in there.
What I want you to know is that at this last week we had in Jarrett, we were all there till 11, 12 at night. But there was one phone call to Garrett, to Mr. Cyphers, and it was to bring the sheriff there for traffic control. And they were there instantly. The sheriff worked with us. There was another phone call that we needed to county maintenance. Harvey Cyphers and one of his workers came out and aided us because Colton Lynch actually has a baby, so he's at home with his new wife. At one point, I found myself out directing traffic with the sheriff. And this is the attitude you have, and this is the attitude you have with the authority. It's not about anybody's position. It's about everybody going to serve the citizens and making sure that we get the job done. So I am very proud, and I want you guys to know that we have a dynamite crew.
Yeah,
And
I saw that firsthand.
Thank you.
Any more questions, statement? All right. Can I get a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor?
Supervisor Ashcraft.
I didn't want to go first.
Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conway. Chair Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.